airline on AirlineSim, British Atlantic Airways. So it's been a few days since my last update, and everything's going pretty much as expected. So my first big decision that I had to make since last episode was whether I was going to get 757s or not, because my main competitor, a guy called British Skies, has set up with 757s and 767s, and that basically means he's going to be making more money than me, more passengers, cheap prices. He's going to be making more money than me, and he has the ability to fly longer than me. So if you look at his route map here, this is British Skies route map. He's already got long haul flights over to the US. He's got longer flights down here, to Istanbul, Athens, and is that Malta? Malta. So he's already got a vaster network than me because of his choice of planes. So I've decided to get some 757s myself. So my fleet going forward will be 737s, Airbus A320 family when I can afford them, and 757s. So this was the plane that had on bid during last episode, and I was going to do Shannon, Cork, and I think I said Rotterdam or something like that, but I noticed that I didn't have a morning Manchester run into my waves, or late evening, so the first one in, last one out. So this one did Manchester, Cork, and Shannon, and as you can see, flights are filling up nicely with that. I then got two 757s, and I flew them to sort of the big destinations that I've been missing in mainland Europe. So Berlin, Frankfurt is slot controlled, only 4%. So I did slot restrained airports as well with the 757. Obviously, more passengers per plane. And again, as you can see, filling up nicely. My second 757, I did Zurich, Brussels, and Vienna. I think Zurich was the big one for me because I only had 1% slots, but the slots that are free here is perfect for my mid-afternoon wave from Heathrow. So I managed to get at least a daily flight into Zurich, so I'm happy with that. And then just today, I got the latest 737-500. So this hasn't gone through any of the demanding calculations yet, but I've decided to expand my domestic network, because at the moment there's only me and British Skies in the UK, so there's going to be no competition really on these routes, and any passengers that can feed through my waves, the better. So I've done the Isles of Man, I've done Newquay and Jersey on this one. I do have plans for my next 737-500. I'm going to go in Birmingham. Now, I did and ah about Birmingham because it's not really a realistic flight. Like in real life, I think it's about an hour and a half by car. It's probably only going to be like a 20-minute flight. However, my thinking is purely passengers connecting, and because there's no airlines based in the UK other than British Skies, there's going to be a lot of passengers connecting through Heathrow via Birmingham. So until Heathrow fills up, my thinking is all that demand can be just funneled through Heathrow for Birmingham. So I'm going to do 3 times daily in my waves with one of the 737s that I get. I'm going to go Prestwick, Cardiff, and Doncaster here as well. They're going to be the next 3 after that. Something that I did want to point out, and I won't look at the message, but the person who runs PK Global, that airline that I talked about last episode, I think he watched my video and was thankful for my words about him, and he's offered to give me cheap Boeing 737-500s that he owns. I did have to think about it, for a second because I didn't want to have an unfair advantage against British guys where, I'm sort of like, it feels like collusion a little bit. But then I just sort of thought to myself, those planes are on the free market. So if British Skies wants them, he can bid on them, and that's that. So I'm not gonna, if I see a bid on one of them, I'm not gonna go for that one and just be a bit of a prick on that one. So, so I decided to accept the help from him. So I do have two bids for his 737-500s coming in. Now these are long term. These are like 20, nearly 2 days. I've got to wait. A day. I've got to wait for those to come in. So there's my next two 737-500s coming in there. One thing I did do. So I was nervous about British Sky's revenue potential. So what I did was I went to pricing. I literally went economy, business, and then I just upped all my prices by 20% because I was just thinking right now the demand's filling out, and I need to sort of maintain the level of revenue that I'm getting with British guys because obviously he's got bigger planes than me. However, there has been an effect of this. Now, my flights are still filling up. I've had several demand calculations since I did that. However, the connecting passenger stats have changed. So last episode I showed you my Glasgow to Heathrow evening flight, so BA17 here. When I clicked on the connecting stats, it was something like about 80 passengers connecting onto my flights, and then like 30 or 40 connecting to external flights to my interlining partners. However, now with my new prices up to 127. It was about 100. It's now 100 going to external and only 17 going to own connection. So, for the time being, whilst my flights are filling up, I'm not really bothered about the connection stats. It's all about money in the bank, and it's all about bums on seats. So right now I'm still making money. I'm making more money than I was before. Eventually, when me and British Skies get bigger and competition becomes quite fierce, I will have to drop those prices back down, obviously, but I'll do it then. So, other developments, more interlining partners. I've just had another interlining contract here from Raja Fly. He's the Indian airline by the looks of it. I'm guessing he flies Heathrow, yeah. So I'll probably sign that now. Yeah, in fact, I will do that now. Now PK Global here offered me all these, but I didn't want to spend too much money on it, so I did his main airline. His main airline has 400 flights a week out of Heathrow, I believe. Yeah, PK Global there. What any other PK airlines? PK Horizon, so that might be one I'll do next. Yeah, in fact, we'll do that now. Go to PK Horizon. PK Horizon Wings will accept that, and it's actually one of the cheaper ones, actually, of one of his many airlines. He's got 110 owned Airbus A380s. Right, okay, mate. Right. Anyway, so my end of week is Thursday morning, so I've got a couple more days into that, so I've got to be mindful of that. I am making about 400,000, about 350,000, 400,000 per bank of my waves. So if I show you here, so this is a bank, a wave bank here. So when all these flights go out, I make about 300 to 400,000. And then I've got one more bank this evening. Got a few overnight flights when I had spare capacity in the maintenance ratio. So I think tonight this will go out. This will go up to about 700,000, I think, and I might get another 757 because I've got those two 737s on bid already. So I'll get a 757. Probably an IGW. If I do nearest aircraft first, yeah. So I'll probably get one of these ones here from here, which are they're old, but they're not stupidly old, and they're dirt cheap. So I'll probably get one of them next. And it's just going to be expanding where I can expand. If you look at my route map, it's not as comprehensive as British Skies. So if I examine the two here, so he's got Oslo, he's got Helsinki, he's got Porto. Why I'm not quite sure that is that Valencia or something. He's got Milan, Venice. He has got Rotterdam as well. And Warsaw. So but what he's doing is he's flying to more destinations but less frequently. So, for example, if you look at his here, he's only flying twice to Amsterdam, whereas I'm flying 3 to 4 times daily to Amsterdam. He's only got one Aberdeen flight. I've got 2. And 2 Glasgow flights. I mean, I'm printing money on the Glasgow flights, so I'm even thinking about putting a 757 on another round trip there. But his way works just as way as mine. So if I go here, this is the difference between the networks, you see. So I'm flying to, destinations multiple daily, whereas he's going, right, how can I connect one to the other? And he's going left, right across Europe. I do have more domestic flights than him, and Irish flights, but yeah. So I think the next few days are going to be this. It's going to be, I'm going to get those 2 737s from PK Global's Avalon Trading. I'm going to get maybe a couple more 757s, and then I'll have to wait for the weekend, Thursday morning, before I can buy any more planes. So I'll probably not really do much sort of the end of Tuesday, Wednesday. Wait for that to look over. Now, usually what I do is I start upping all these prices to get the rating up, but because I'm based out of Heathrow, it's all about expanding at the moment. So I'd rather use the money I'd spend on upping the salaries and upping the rating, to actually just fuel more aircraft, though, especially when I'm getting classics, which haven't got good ratings. Sorry, my mate rang me. So yeah, sorry about the cut there. Yeah, my mate rang me on Teams, so I'll have to go now. But anyway, thank you very much for anyone who watched my previous episodes. I plan to make another update just after the weekend, so probably Friday. See what my first profit will look like. And yeah, many thanks to everyone who's watched. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.